Alright, let's go and get started. Howdy, howdy, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sharkinbear, and welcome to the channel where today we're going to be checking out yet another zombie survivors game. If you're not familiar with this game, it is definitely in the genre of the bullet hell, bullet heaven. If you like vampire survivors or like this might feed into that little addiction you have to play these sorts of games. What I did not realize, it's just till recently, because I was looking at the pop-up on the right side, is they were actually responsible for Fury Unleashed. Which, just let you know, if you've never played Fury Unleashed, that game is amazing. It's like a roguelite shooter that uses comic book panels to transition from zone to zone. It's got a very unique art style, and now actually kind of makes me want to play it because I thoroughly enjoyed that one. But we're not talking about Fury Unleashed, we're actually talking about yet another zombie survivors game. This is one that is most like any other bullet heaven games. You basically load into a level, you clear out a whole bunch of zombies, you die or you extract from the zone, then you use the money upgrades you pick up to then enhance your character using this cool little upgrade system over here. Now, there is some news at the start of July this past month in which they're basically doing a huge rework for all the things in the game as far as character synergies, stats, weapons, evolutions of abilities, and stuff like that. But that's neither here nor there. We're talking about the game as it is now, if it is fun, or if you need to hold off. Honestly, I think it's pretty fun. The only thing that I am not super keen on is that as you're unlocking stuff for characters, I feel like the grind to unlock some stuff might take a little bit longer than some people are used to. But at the same time, I feel like it's pretty fun on all, for all intents and purposes. So essentially, as it is, you'll start out with, I believe you start out with 3 characters. You start out with maybe it's just the SWAT and the tank. I can't remember if you start out with the engineer or not. And as you play as one of these characters, essentially, the more zombies you kill, they'll unlock stuff. So, like, for instance, the SWAT guy right here, he always starts out with the SMG, the grenade, and a helicopter that'll come and help him attack enemies. And then as you get more zombie kills, you unlock the second tier weapons and the third tier weapons. And those are essentially evolutions for the characters that get further in. I am currently working on unlocking the third tier for everybody, but as you can see, it's all locked behind getting zombie kills, and they're not a small number. Right here, the Pyro was the last to be released, and I have about 17,745 more zombies before I'm able to unlock that last tier. That sounds like a lot, but it is. But at the same time, it's very achievable within, 3 to 4 matches, just depending on what you're doing. So right now we're working on the engineer, just because I really like the engineer gameplay. So we're going to go in here and play the engineer. If you like the content, you want to see more games like yet another zombie survivor game, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel because it really helps me out. As always, I hope everyone is having a great day, and let us jump into it. So we are going to play as the engineer by default, but the thing is kind of funny here in that you play with one character, but you basically are able to recruit 2 other characters with you during the match. Which is pretty cool. So you basically make like a team of characters you think synergize really well together, and then build off of that. So we're going to go ahead and continue on. I'm just going to go and showcase the newest level they added into the game, or the newest addition. I can't remember exactly when Green Hell was added in, but it was in the last couple of months. I haven't played enough to unlock the other modes. Matter of fact, I don't think I've played any of these on any of the maps. But we're going to do endless, just, we'll do a default run, actually. 20 minutes sounds like enough time to do that. We're going to jump into it. Endless, I was only doing that because I wanted to try to push past the normal 20-minute marker and essentially get all my zombie kills, but we should have more than 2,000 kills easy. So as an engineer, you are going to be using a taser as your main weapon for a while. As you level up, your taser will increase in strength. You'll be able to basically get yourself gadgets, such as an electro turret and an electro wave. And then you can also upgrade your turret enough to the point where, or your taser enough, so you can actually evolve it into a stronger form, which basically lets it use a chain lightning, essentially. It's not as strong as like a chain lightning in like a spell casting game, so to speak, but it is fairly strong. Now, what makes Green Hell different from any other map is essentially that you have these green pools here, basically poison stuff, so you touch the icky green stuff, you are going to get poisoned. Enemies tend to be healthier on this map as well, so where I probably would have been a safer bet for me to play on a different map or a lower tier map, I actually like that Green Hell has a little bit more of a difficulty on there. So as you level up, of course, you get your 4 choices here. Through your skill tree, you can get things like access to rerolls, lockdowns, and banishes, or just skip. We are looking to upgrade our taser as fast as we possibly can. Taser with increased ability, We got like 4 more tiers here to upgrade this on before we can move it on to the second tier of weapon. And I do want to try to get that second tier of weapon ASAP, because that's going to make it easier for us to clear out enemies, and basically have them dying before they can get to us. That's also one of the other new additions to this map, are these screamers here. I want to try to take them out as fast as I can. Maybe we can focus fire him. There he goes. And we're almost maxed out on our taser. And we're not always going to have the time to focus fire on that guy. But we do already have a party member came in. This little green arrow here tells me that we have a party member looking to join our team. So there we go. We have the option of 2 other people. If we don't like the people they offer, we could re-roll and get 2 other party members basically offered to us. And we also have the ability to liberate. Instead of taking an additional person, we can go ahead and send them and get money instead and get an additional level up. I'm going to opt to go ahead and take the Pyro because of the fact that we are a elemental class because we're using electricity. I'm going to go ahead and take the Pyro because he's going to use fire, but he's also going to enhance the team with elemental damage. So we're going to go ahead and try to solo this guy out here. And we already have our first upgraded weapon from Taser to Tesla. Supply electricity to the needy by using zombies as power relays. It's not an extremely strong upgrade, but it's definitely worth grabbing because it's basically going to have stun power. That's what the Tesla rifle thing does. It basically enhances your ability to stun enemies. Now, unfortunately for the Pyro, he starts out with a kind of a weak weapon. It's a fire axe. It is strong, but it only swings like every 4 seconds, and it's not really good to be in melee range for a lot of that stuff. So what I'm going to do here is at every avenue that I can, I'm going to opt to like make sure that we take the Tesla upgrade to get it as upgraded as we can. Next we have some options here for us. Whenever we find one of these yellow care packages, we get a whole bunch of series of upgrades that generally improve our characters. Not like they're not character specific, but we can increase our magnet range here as well as our electric damage by 5%. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that one. It means we don't have to be nearly as close to all those XP orbs laying on the ground or gems. And looks like we also picked up enough of these military manuals that we might also be able to get an upgrade here. I'm gonna go ahead and go with, let's go with the weapon cooldown reduction. And I believe the weapon cooldown reduction basically just lowers the amount of time before it's able to be recharged for another assault on the enemy. Again, we have another guy here. Take him out. Looks like he's gonna explode there. And we also have a boss minion on the map now. Now bosses basically are exactly what they sound like. As you kill them, you'll just get a whole bunch of extra XP gems from them. They don't offer like any weapon drops by killing them or anything like that. That is something I'd like to see. But overall, they are going to be kind of tanky here at the start. But once we get some more like weapons and upgrades under our belt, we should be coming up pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and level up this fire axe a little bit more, if only because once the fireman or the pyro essentially upgrades, we will find that he has access to a blowtorch as a second tier weapon, and the blowtorch is actually extremely strong because once completely upgraded, it never turns off. Sorry about that, I had a cough. And we're going to go ahead and finish this Tesla upgrade. And the reason why we want to finish the Tesla cannon is because it actually has one more evolution. Now, the thing about the third tier evolution for all the characters so far, I don't know if this is intended to be changed, but the other thing about the evolutions is that you get 2 choices for your third evolution. In case of the engineer, you will opt to have yourself a laser or one that like shoots plasma bolts. And honestly, the laser is pretty broken. So here we are, we get our last of our 3 survivors to join our team. We have Ghost, which is a samurai class essentially, and a SWAT, who is good at using assault rifles, calling in backup helicopters, and throwing in grenades. I'm not a fan of either of these because they don't really synergize with a build. I kind of want to go for an elemental thing, so what I'm hoping here is we can re-roll And I want to find the Huntress. And there she is. The reason why is the Huntress uses a bow, and while she's not an elemental class to start out with, when she gets to a tier 3, she can choose one of two elemental bows. One's an explosive bow, and the other one's a cryo bow. And I want to try to aim for that. And here's our laser gun, by the way. So essentially now we're going to be able to laser enemies, and it's going to basically shoot and cleave through enemies. Very strong stuff. We can now start working on the other characters' weapons, the Pyro and the Huntress's weapons now. Now that we have this, if we see another laser upgrade, we're going to go ahead and take those. But I do want to be careful here, because now that more enemies are starting to spawn in at a time, we're going to find ourselves dancing and taking unneeded damage where we don't want to take it, obviously. It is unneeded. But at the same time, we should be able to deal with most everything. And as a matter of fact, we might be able to clear out some of these bosses that we have, because we have 2 of these X-Men coming at us. And you can just see the power of this laser rifle just doing its job. Looks like we managed to get some more military training here. I'm going to go ahead and do the 6 health per second, because that looks like it could be pretty neat for our health purposes. We did kill one of those X-Men. No, we didn't. Now you're dead. We have taken some health damage. The good thing is, generally speaking, you're going to be taking a lot of damage at the start. But there are, at first you're going to be taking all of it. You won't be able to have any iframes or anything like that. But as you level up your character and spend some passive effects on there, there's effects that allow you to take, be immune after you've taken a hit. And you can increase that time. And it looks like we have the blowtorch. And now the pyro will actually start to more or less come online here as well. You'll see these little power-ups, by the way, that drop on the ground. There's a star, there's a lightning bolt, there's a shield. All these will give you different things that'll enhance your character. Looks like we can go ahead and get the bow upgraded. I am actually going to opt to get an electric turret. So while every character has weapons, they also have utility items as well that'll help you, such as the engineer throwing down a Tesla turret. Man, we got hit by all of that. I was hoping I was standing close enough to the side of that. I want to get over to that recruiter, or that recruitable character over there. After you've gotten all your party members, you'll still see people who need rescue, and if you manage to rescue them, they will give you an instant level up to one of your characters. So it's definitely wise to try to get them whenever you can. So we'll make our way over there. And unfortunately for us, we're standing like right on the edge of an exploder who was standing right on top of that. Now that we've done that, we'll go ahead and also get Arrow Rain, another utility ability. And as it says, basically, we're going to rain arrows on enemies every once in a while. Definitely helps for area denial, or area clearing, essentially. Honestly, I feel like Arrow Rain kind of has a long ability cooldown, but most of these abilities get their cooldown shortened incredibly quickly. Weapon crit chance and weapon critical damage is really good, but I mean 20% fire modifier is pretty amazing, seeing as how our pyro does exclusively pyro damage the entire time, and it's very strong. So we're gonna go ahead and increase our blowtorch yet again. Again, keeping in mind the range of that blowtorch is very, very small, but it stays on permanently once you've maxed it out. And I am going to opt to go for one of his 3rd tier evolutions, which is the ability to get a flamethrower. And I'm not entirely sure if the flamethrower is stronger than the blowtorch, because it does actually turn off. But I would have to think that the flamethrower has longer reach. Looks like we have another fire modifier. I'm going to go ahead and take that. And we also have someone else who looks to be saved over here. We're going to put another point into blowtorch. I want to get rid of that guy right there, because he summons those little orbs on the ground that come after you. We'll go ahead and go with the upgraded bow. I would like to try to get that to a, whatchamacallit, upgrade to the multi-tier bow, because right now it's only shooting one target. We're going to go ahead and go with the ability critical damage 20%. And we're going to keep on walking around. There is someone here to be saved, but they're standing in the middle of those guys who put these little things that chase us down on the ground. I do want to clear them out. We're going to go ahead and upgrade our laser. And it looks like we have another boss monster in the field. A couple of boss monsters, actually. But once we finally get all our final weapon tiers upgraded, we'll notice that we have a little bit more breathing room because we'll be able to cleave through them pretty fast. These guys' health are slowly getting melted down, which is good. But as we get these final points in here, we're going to notice a heavy turn in how fast their health goes down. We're going to be seeing the bosses drop like flies. There goes one. I'm going to try to make it to this guy right here. There we go. We're going to get the bow upgrade. Oh, we got a magnet here. Go ahead and do no pain, no gain, because that gives us additional movement speed and an additional 20% in elemental damage. Go ahead and maximize the blowtorch. I'm going to go ahead and see if we can get the flamethrower here. There it goes. There's the flamethrower. And now we have a gun with much longer reach. Although it does only last for so long, it takes a little second to reload, but obviously the damage is going to be worth it. And now we got an enemy that'll chase us every so often. Like, he's got a marker on the ground that shows where he's going to hit us if we don't watch out. We're going to go through all these enemies here, because we do get iframes for like a second after we get hit. So I would rather been hit by a lesser enemy rather than take the full brunt of a elite enemy, a boss enemy. Looks like we have a military chest here. We'll go ahead and I think we're going to take the healing bonus. It seems like we're getting a lot of pyro upgrades, even though we're playing the electric character, but you know, sometimes you got to work with what you get. Matter of fact, I just unlocked the pyro upgrades in the last match for doing so much pyro damage in a single run. We'd be a little bit more cognizant of the damage we're taking, by the way. There's our multi-shot. So we got the second tier of the Huntress weapon. You can hear her bow shooting a lot more now. I might be tempted to let some of these bosses catch up to me just so we can cleave them down a little bit. Sometimes I'll stand at the side of where I know they're about to land, just so that I can clip them a little bit. I do hope that we can find some health pickups here. Oh, there's one to our left. Right there. I think we're doing fairly okay. We do have another survivor over here we can go ahead and find and save just for the upgrade. There's that. Go ahead and see if we can find magnet and electric damage. I'm kind of sad that the electric damage is only a 5% boost, whereas we've been getting like 20% boost with the other guy. We'll go ahead and do electrocution. Ooh, I think we actually may have taken a hit there, but I think we're still fine, perhaps. That, by the way, that little electric turret you see on the ground, that thing is chunky. We need to go ahead and go for some no pain, no gain, because it definitely adds up really quick. and a 20% boost to all elemental damage. And as soon as the Huntress gets her 3rd tier weapon, we're going to notice a drastic increase in all of that damage just because of the fact that she also gets an elemental bow. Right now she's getting no bonuses from like no pain no gain, but as soon as she gets tier 3, she'll basically come online for our team, and it's the best synergy we're going to have, because I think between her and the Pyro, I think they're the only other 2 characters other than the engineer who gets elemental weaponry. And you also see these elites will start essentially taking more damage as well. I saw another survivor over there we need to save. I've been dancing around this trying to make sure we don't take too many hits. We're going to put a point in that flamethrower. And you might notice I'm focusing on weapons rather than the utility skills. I feel like it's better to get these utility skills than it is to focus on the weapons over the utility skills, just because the utility skills, they don't evolve in any way. Maybe they'll add evolutions for them later, but as of right now, your weapons are the only evolutions you can get, so that's where you're going to see your biggest, basically, upgrades at damage-wise. My belief, anyways. We only have one more level of multi-shot left before we're able to get elemental bow, and there we go. I think I'm going to go with freezing arrows, just because it'll be nice to have maybe some CC, because freezing arrows do exactly what they say they do, or cryo arrows. We're going to do let's go and do mod chip here. Hack the system will allow critical hits to give you 0.5% weapon cooldown reduction and weapon attack speed for 1 second. Seeing that we have a guy that's literally just firing constantly and another guy who can flamethrower several enemies, we're only going to see that bonus a lot more than you think. Now we did take a whole bunch of damage there. We are at roughly 50% of our health. So we'd be a little bit more cognizant. Whenever I'm able to, if I don't feel like there's an elite immediately getting ready to jump on my booty hole, I will usually take the time to slow down, stop in an area, and clear out the enemies around me. Take a drink of my coffee. And it looks like we have 2 legendary military trainings. Ability damage 15%, weapon critical damage 30%. I think we're going to go with the 30% crit damage, because 16% sounds low as far as crit chance, but for the number of hits we're doing, we're going to see a payoff with that really quickly, I think. We got some health over here. That guy's dead, I think. Oh, here's our survivor. We're going to go ahead and take an upgrade in no pain, no gain. And then we'll go ahead and take a upgrade in, we'll start raising Eagle Eye, because Eagle Eye doesn't give you any crit chance boosts by default. But as you put levels into it, you'll see that we're probably going to get another 10% easy from Eagle Eye. And since the fact that we have a majority of our elemental power online now, ever since the Huntress got her bow, or tier 3 bow, we're going to start seeing stuff die hell a lot faster. We did just walk into that spitter over there. But I think we're already noticing a huge upgrade from all of our stuff finally coming together. Now that everybody's got their elemental parts, I see we're going to see a lot of it. I'm going to go ahead and max out Flamethrower here. Oh, no, we got one more tier after this one. And then we're going to go ahead and, let's see if we can reroll for a better quality. You know what? We'll take the extra health. Why not? You don't get a lot of health upgrades, honestly. Oh, there's a weapon chest. That's nice. We'll go with let's go and get some more rerolls. I do like to reroll for my character abilities from time to time. Even the military gear is pretty nice. It would be cool to see if like the arrow rain ability would change based on the element as well. I don't think that happens. I think I just see like normal arrows, but it would be pretty neato. Looks like we have a military chest over here. Yep. Let's get in that. And that is an achievement for getting the potato. I don't think the potato actually does anything for the characters, but it's still pretty cool. We're going to go with reroll. And elemental damage 10% could be really good. That's going to help everybody. So I think we're going to go with the detective's pipe here. And we have another survivor to our south. Let's go ahead and max out flamethrower. Then we'll start working on maxing out our cryo bow. And then we'll start working on finishing up the build by leveling up all of our utility skills. No pain, no gain is probably the most important one because that increases everybody's elemental damage. And we're cooking these enemies. I'm gonna go ahead and get this right here. We got freezing arrows increase. The number of arrows she shoots goes up every time we level that up, so that's very nice. We'll see some more stopping power here. We are taking some heavy hits here. Let's go ahead and do freezing arrow again. Number of arrows goes up from 3 to 4. Alright, we need to get a health level up, or health power up. It's one down here. Oh, and we took a heavy dose of hits. This level can be a little bit harder on stuff like that just because of the fact that there are more ranged enemies here than on the other maps. I do see a magnet over here we can probably take advantage of when we can get to it. And now we have the maxed out arrow. Oh, we got some health pick up there as we took that hit. We'll go ahead and start working on Eagle Eye. Then we'll do that. See, he jumps from a 4% to a 12%. And I am looking for some more health regen. Nice. And I'm trying to see if we have any health markers around the corner of the map. Although we are regenerating health pretty good right now. It is important to note that these spiders, when they die, they throw webs on the ground on their death spot, which basically means that we get slowed for a little time. But it's not too terrible to deal with. We have 15 minutes on the clock still. We need to get, or still, we got 15 minutes on the clock. We need to make it to the 20-minute marker, so we're doing pretty good here. And we're going to go ahead and move this up to a almost 30% crit chance here through Eagle Eye. It looks like we have ourselves a military chest. We can go and access. And we're going to go, you know what? We're going to go ahead and move the icon of Cinder here. And it looks like we're about to clear out all 3 of these guys. If we want to, we can slowly just backpedal here. We're not being pincered in by any sort. We're actually able to get a little bit of breathing room. The only thing that I'm wary of is there's those guys who lay little tiny AoE in the ground that chases you. If I can avoid those guys, I'll be fine. And I think I just saw right now that the enemy horde just got increased, so we're going to just slightly tankier dudes perhaps. But I think there's a chance we'll still be fine. We got another magnet on the ground. There's also another survivor we need to try to make it to. Let's see if we can see how fast we're melting this guy. Man, we are melting him. Like, I think he's almost dead already. Is he dead already? He didn't run. We must have froze him. There we go. Look at that. Pretty confident he's dead. This is probably one of my favorite builds to run, mostly because I am a big fan of the engineer. He's not the strongest, but I do like lightning is like one of my favorite elements in games, period. Lightning and wind are like my favorite elements. So now we have our utility skills, because I think we have everything maxed out. I think we have Eagle Eye maxed out as well. We're going to go ahead and take Molotov Cocktail because we don't have a single level on that. And that's just going to throw down, you know, Molotov Cocktail on the ground. Let him have some fire patches on the ground. And seeing as how he is very much the most powerful character on our team, most likely to be through all those upgrades we got from the military upgrades, Molotov Cocktails probably are exactly what the doctor ordered. That guy's tanky. Is he an elite? He doesn't have an elite health bar. We're gonna go ahead and go with let's go with the weapon damage and the attack speed here. 3 minutes left on the clock. And we can do this. I think there might be one more, like, Horde level upgrade to make the enemies tougher. But I think for the most part, we should be good. I wanted to grab that survivor, but he had one of those guys throwing a little tracking AoE. Legendary luck. Dear John. I don't know what kind of luck that's going to give us, but we're going to take it. I'm going to grab this money over here. So the money, the cash on the ground is definitely something you want to pick up. It's probably the most important pickup in the game. And basically the reason for that is that money upgrades essentially allow you to increase your characters. They're basically skill points that level up stats outside of the game. So we're going to go ahead and choose, I think we're going to go with electric turret. Go ahead and pick up this upgrade here. Unlock the 3rd rank for the engineer. So we just crossed that 2,000 line we need to kill all those enemies for. And then we're also going to increase the electric turret again. As you can see, it increases the range, the damage, and increases the cooldown, the duration of it out on the field. This is very good. And a lot of the stuff is like, you know, drop and forget sort of thing. Like the game automatically drops those for you. You'll notice them when they go down, and you won't notice that they're doing their job, but they are. They're doing a lot of work. They clear up areas. For each 200 points of maximum health, increase health regeneration by 1. Alright, so this basically gives us another 8 health per second. And we're going to go ahead and take that. The only big problem that I have with this game on a technical level is sometimes some of these trees can kind of get in the way from time to time. I'm going to go ahead and take Annoying Trumpet. It basically gives you breathing room. Anytime you get hit, there's a chance that it causes an explosion that knocks enemies back. Very helpful stuff. So you're basically getting that 1 second breathing room from the iframes. But then on top of that, you're also getting a 50% chance to knock back enemies who hit you. Alright, so we have roughly a minute left. I'm hoping that we'll be fine. I'm pretty sure we'll be fine. But worse things have happened. The enemy levels are... The enemy density is starting to go up a little bit. We were taking a lot of hits there. Luckily for us, I managed to leave a couple of health pickups on the ground in case of emergency. We're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and do some more electrocution just because that's elementally imbued. And it looks like arrow rain is the last skill that we have to worry about. I'm going to circle this way. I think we have 30 seconds left. We should hopefully be okay, even though we just took a crap ton of damage. We got a health pickup over here. I'm gonna go ahead and skedoodle over here for that. 20 seconds left. Get that money. So far, by the way, the cash builds up. You can see in the top right, it says we have 3460 of 3600. That's how much money I need to collect before we get a point towards our character's meta progression. And we have made it. As soon as you clear up all the enemies, there's no extraction or anything needed. It turns daylight, and we are done. And like that, we have ourselves 5 points towards our meta progression. So here we have a breakdown of everything that happened during that match. We killed 1,274 guys with our engineer, 706 with our pyro, 475 with our huntress. I feel like there's no way that's all we killed. 2,946. You know, I think it's because of the fact there's so much tankier, so it probably took us longer to kill them. Because earlier I had like 8,000 zombies killed on the initial map. So I guess it's just the beefiness of this level, how hard the difficulty is. So yeah, and you can even say like a breakdown of everything, how much damage was caused by what. So our laser did 1.3 million damage. The flamethrower did 1.1. So even with all those pyro upgrades, it still fell behind the laser. That's how strong the laser was. And then while the freezing arrows were good and did elemental damage, we probably got them a little bit later than we wanted to, but they came just shy of 700,000 at 652,000 damage overall. So she was definitely the weakest character, but she's also definitely not the elemental character of the party. You can even see what the elements are next to the abilities that we used them on. So yeah, after that, we can go ahead and clear this out. It shows us any new upgrades we got. So for the engineer, we got energy shield. Engineer's last invention projects a barrier that electrifies those who enter, and the EMP grenade throws a grenade that explodes after a few seconds, damaging nearby enemies and electrocuting those further away. So that's cool. We have those. We can then go to training if we so choose, and it's here we can go ahead and see our medic progression tree and things where we want to put our points at. Haven't entirely figured out where I want to put this just yet, so I'm going to hold on to it, and I'm going to decide that outside of this. But yeah. That is yet another Zombie Survivors upgrade. No, there's yet another Zombie Survivors game. Sorry, I'm kind of fumbling my words here. I'm thinking about. I think the Ghost is the next character I plan on getting all the abilities for, just because he's the closest. I'd be interested to see what the Pyro's other one looks like. He has dynamite and maybe like a fire trail. And I wonder if that's a poison area. Oh, she gets a little monkey thingy. I wonder if like playing symbols in order to like distract enemies. He gets kunai, and maybe he gets something electric because he's got a little electric aura around him in the bottom picture. Medic uses chemical abilities, which are pretty cool. I believe one of them actually freezes enemies potentially, so she might be another elemental character. So I'm thinking maybe those guys perhaps get an elemental ability. You just have to get them to tier 3. So, what do you think of the game? Is this something you're interested in? I actually have thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it's a little too grindy for the upgrades that you get. I would like to see some unlockables a lot earlier. Instead of maybe having them, like, a lot of items are batched together. Like, tier 2 has 2 items, tier 3 has 3 items. Maybe, like, have, like, several tiers, like 10 tiers, or, like, you know, right here we have 7 abilities. So make it 7 tiers instead and break it up. So that way people feel like they're earning more over time rather than waiting for big batches of unlocks at one time. I don't know. But yeah, that's the game. If you like it and you want to see more of it, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. I'll also leave a link down in the description if you want to check out the game for yourself. Also, I have an open Discord if you want to come and join my Discord and get updated content whenever it goes live, as well as make game suggestions to me if there's something you want to see in the particular future or you want to know about. That being said, you guys take care, and I will catch you all in my next video. Later.